Hey guys, Spoox here. Today I'm bringing a new series to the Infection channel, which is going to be coming in every 2 or 3 weeks, depending on the schedule. But basically, this is a mixture of a few video ideas that we've had. We've actually done a couple of these before, so some of you older subscribers will remember the Meet the Players videos, and we also had videos which were introducing people and asking them how they felt just before tournaments, so interviews basically. It's those two ideas as well as like a map strategies video. So what I've done today is I have got in a party with LovinTheLag, our previous tournament winner. So congratulations, LovinTheLag, a little round of applause for winning that tournament. And he has spoke to me about Hellfire and some map strategies basically, as he believes it's one of his best maps that he does really well on. So we have come together to try and help out people that are not so familiar with the competitive scene, and we will hopefully be getting people more involved. So hope you guys enjoy. Love and Lag did excellent in this video, and yeah, let me know who you want to see in the next video, guys. Do you think Hellfire works well?
Yes, Hellfire is probably in the top three for best competitive infection maps because there are so many ways you can play the map for things like spawn traps and zombie strats. Plus, this is probably a new player new to competitive infection would probably be able to do well on this map because it's just very passive way you can play this map, and a lot of people can get used to this pretty quickly.
Also, it's in matchmaking in Slayer as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
So very similar.
Mm-hmm.
How do you prepare for tournaments?
The main thing I do to prepare for them is probably practice lobbies. Ones that Infection Hub streams or do ones with friends. They're really good to do because you get used to a sweaty setting and kind of learn people's playstyles, and it really gets me prepared for them because you have to start trying hard, and because you want to do well in the tournament, you want to get wins, so it's good to play against other people that are good and not noobs and things like that. Like before a tournament, I usually try and participate in all the ones that are streamed, and then usually I'll play one or two for about 2 hours before, like any day of the week with friends.
We're not on Hellfire for just a random reason. We
No.
have actually chosen Hellfire because you've said that this is your best map. So what do you
Yeah.
think makes this your best map?
I think the main thing that makes me good at this map is I'm fairly good at rotating around this map from, holdouts positions to spawn trap areas to last man areas, and also my ability to do well both as a zombie and a human is pretty even. Like on other maps, I'm sometimes not as good as a zombie as I am a human, or the other way around. I'm not good at a human, but I'm pretty good at zombie. But this map, I'm pretty even on both sides, so I can usually win games and do well with both human and zombie rounds
Yeah,
and be consistent.
you need that balance, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you need the balance, absolutely. Because you can't just have like one good human round and then hope that that's enough. You have to have a good zombie round as well. Obviously, being the absolute god of Hellfire, do you have any tips or strategies for Hellfire that will maybe help newer players to the competitive scene?
So the main thing about Hellfire that I think separates it from other maps is spawns change quite often on this map because people are moving around a lot. And so you really have to be aware of where other humans are. So be looking for other people's ID cards just to know where they are so you can predict the spawns. And then usually at the start of rounds, I push into this gunfighter area because you can stare down this hallway because zombies like to push down here, or they sometimes come from gunfighter. And if you have a decent reaction time, you can usually pick up one or two kills if they're just pushing here. And then after after I get a few kills, I usually start to either rotate to my other holdout locations. And then last fans for this map, I'd say the best spot is back here in human spawn from this teleport area because you can stare at a gunfighter area or up to top sniper, and you can't get swarmed very easily here, so it's a little bit better, even though it's something you usually don't want to do is get last man, but this is the best spot I recommend. And then for zombie, I will either go through obviously teleporter, or I can push down here the human spawn. And zombies,
Mm-hmm.
you can get clamber on this crate and then lunge at people sitting in this area up here. Usually you can get lunges that way, or people kind of stare out over this area to try and find people. And also going on pipes is a fairly strong spot if people are pushing over to top pipes. And then the one spot that I found that not many people sit here, but sitting behind this little area, people tend to push over to try and kill people in oven. And if they're not paying attention, you can easily get a quick lunge on people by jumping over. And I've done that before in practice lobbies or matchmaking and things like that. I've been able to get at least one or two and then die, or like if they choke a lot, you can get a lot more infects. But like people can't push behind you to kill you. So this is a fairly strong spot to sit in, and it's uncommon, so people won't check there. Recently, there's like been like a couple players sort of like will often push out by a DMR spawn, and so I can't go directly onto pipes. So I have to either go through teleporter or come over here from oven, because they sometimes predict people going on pipes. So if you know those players do that, you can switch it up like I do. I can go to teleporter or go through here.
Okay, that just comes with your expertise, because obviously when you played so many practice lobbies, you know to switch up your strats every so often, which definitely benefits, because I've seen you win quite a few games, especially on Hellfire as well.
Yeah.
So, moving on, what do you think are the best position to hold out? Well, what's your favourite ones to hold out in as well?
So mainly the main spot I use the most is gunfighter area, because you can get kills staring down an oven. Also top pipes is strong because scatter shot spawn is very common and humans don't usually block it off, and so you can kind of like rotate between the two areas. And then if people start dying, you sort of want to push back, because otherwise you'll get swarm people coming both sides. So you can kind of sit here, stare down long haul or gunfighter, and you can pick up a lot of headshots usually. And if you get swarmed, you can always just back up to human spawn sort of area.
Especially with those super long sight lines as well.
Yeah.
You can see miles away from here.
Yeah, you can get a lot of kills in that spot. And then the other spot that I've been using a little more recently, I haven't used it a ton before, is over here in people have used it before, but they only stare at oven, which is good, but most people just only stare at here and they only get kills here, and if people block off the spawns, this spot becomes useless to them, so they move. But actually, if you push down here, people will be running from scatter shot spawn. You can actually pick up headshots from them coming from this direction, and they usually won't expect that, so you can probably pick up a couple more kills before the zombies will start doing something else to try and avoid that.
See, that's good thinking. I didn't know that people. Like, I've seen a lot of people come here and just sit in this spawn trap and stare at this crate, waiting for people. But you've then taken this to the next level. Actually, come down the stairs, recognize that spawn is blocked, and then try and get the kills in scatter shot.
Mm-hmm.
I think that really does show that you've played the map a lot. And
Yeah,
know
because
what's going on. 'Cause
people
a lot of people don't do that.
Yeah, people just love to stay here, and they just like if they see that spot blocked off, they just instantly try to move, and that takes up time of them getting kills, because the zombies could be spawning a scatter shot and they could be missing those kills, and other people can be getting them.
Obviously, you got your favourite positions that you like to be in and out of, but do you like to do any set rotations, or do you just kind of freestyle when you play?
So, if people are swarming in one area, I'll push obviously the opposite, but usually people end up overwhelming gunfighter a lot. So if you're here, you want to push over to sniper, because they'll be running through that doorway by gunfighter, or they'll be pushing over from the barrels. And both spots are good for picking up kills, especially this spot, because they love to slide over here and try and kill you if people are here. So if you can just stare at this spot and pick up headshots, you can rack up a few kills before you have to move. And then also, if you want to come over here, if people are getting overwhelmed over here, if they can come from teleporter or again through that doorway, you can again pick up headshots. And then if people notice to come behind, you can pull out your shotgun and they can come behind, you can get a couple kills here. And this spot is very strong because, if people are starting to stack up, you can pick up a lot of headshots before you die, or even get last man and get more kills. And this whole area is very strong, especially this top area.
Hellfire is a very open map compared to a lot of other ones.
Mm.
Do you think that open maps work a lot better, or say something like Malignant, which is very close corners? What do you think works better?
Well, the Malignant I think it is a close quarters map, but there's so many broken farming spots that make it worse than a map like Hellfire. Even though this map has a big sideline in the center, there's a lot of other corners on the right side of the map over by gunfire that zombies can come through, and they sort of swarm the humans eventually in the end. So usually on Hellfire you don't see bed rounds, even though you think you might, because there's so many silence. Usually rounds end with about a minute left sometimes, or 2 minutes. They can go pretty quick. So that's what makes it like a good map, just to have some open spots. But if it's like entirely open, then it's not a very good map. Usually, like Freak Show isn't a very good map because it's super open, and it's hard for somebody to get kills.
So, being a seasoned veteran like yourself, obviously you won the last tournament actually.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations for that.
Thank you.
You've obviously played a lot of them, and I think you've been in most of our events. If you were to give any advice to any new players coming in and joining the Infection competitive scene, what would it be?
I think most people in the competitive scene are people that have just started playing or played like maybe one tourney or two tourneys, and a lot of people like to play things very passive. They like to sit back and stick with the other humans because they're afraid of losing human runs. Because I did this as well when I first played in tournaments, because you just get scared because zombies are going to be good and they can kill you pretty quick, so you kind of like want to sit back and be safe and sit in like spots you would in matchmaking. But you really shouldn't do that. You have to start pushing out to spawn trap areas, and that's the only way you can prove and get wins, is if you get spawn trap kills and not sit back and play passive. Same goes for zombie. Crouching, is a tactic you can use sometimes, but it's something you shouldn't do all the time, because if you're crouching a lot, it prevents your ability to get kills quick, and people can sort of get infects before you, and so you end up lower on the scoreboard. And also, practice lobbies are a great way to sort of feel your way around the map and sort of find your strong spots that you can use, like in this map. Like, that's how I learned how to play this map good, was playing in practice lobbies.
This has been an interview with LovinTheLag on his favourite map, which is Hellfire, which is actually one of the maps we do play in the tournaments, and we will be hosting more practice lobbies and more tournaments in the future. He has been given all the advice that he knows, and he's helping out everyone he can. So thank you so much for joining us today, Lag. Anything else you'd like to say?
Pet Infection is pretty awesome, and everyone should try it out.
You heard it here first, everyone, right? Everyone, sign up right now and play the next tournaments, because we've got lots of fun events coming up soon. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. It's been Spoox and LovinTheLag from Infection Hub, and we will see you later. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's a new series I'd like to try out on the channel. Please leave a comment down below of who you want to see next, and also what map you want to see as well. Please do leave a like if you enjoyed, and yeah, it's been Spoox from Infection Hub, and I'll catch you later.